Forsaken is an asymmetrical horror. Okay, never mind, you already hit it a million times. But one of the things Forsaken player complain about is that it's not beginner friendly. And as a beginner myself, I totally agree. If all those third-party guides and tutorials did not exist, I could have not figured out how does this game work. And today I'll be talking about the suffering of a new Forsaken player in their first week. Let's go! It's day 1, you don't know what the fuck you are doing, there is icons in here, icons in there, and there is this white bar that keeps decreasing really fast. I wonder what will happen if I let it reach 0, so... Oh. So in short, you have no idea how the game works, and worst of all, you are using noob. Now don't get me wrong, noob is great at last man standing, but for more experienced players. Now, what is the solution? You need to get as much ball knowledge as you can. Start with watching gameplays, tutorials, theories, a game theory. By doing that, you will form an idea how does this game work, and start loving it more knowing the story and the lore, and the characters. It's your second day on the game, you know a bunch of the basics now, like not letting your stamina drop to 0 and not drinking cola and chase. But you are getting your ass kicked every single time. Why is that? Well, tutorials are not gonna tell you everything you should and you should not do in a match. But you know who can do? Your friends. Always try to play with experienced friends, and not just when you start the game, no. In general, the game is 100 times more fun when you play with your friends. They will always help you with tips and tricks, or are just gonna target you for some reason. But you get my point. Always try to play with friends since they are going to help you and make the game much more fun.
Wake up! Wake up! Wake up!
It's your third day at the game. You want to play Elliot, you always get killed. You want to play 2 times, you miss every single step. You want to play Chance. Well damn, this guy is ultra dead. I need to do a video about him. But you get it, you don't know what character to play, but fear not, because the characters in Frosaken are built in a very smart way. And that is difficulty system. I'm not going to explain, oh this is survivors and oh this is support. No, you already know this by now. Just choose your playstyle. If you want to run around the map, keep an eye on the killer, using your ability only when you need to, and then running away, you can play as Elliot or 2 times. They have the same exact playstyle. If you want to mind your own business and stand the killer only when you choose to pick up a fight with you, you can play as Shitletsky and 2 times again. Notice how he is missing 2 times in a row? And if you just want to avoid the killer and run away all the time, you can play Noob and 7 in 7. If you want to gamble, you can use Chance. And for the rest, well, you don't have enough experience to play with him. Yet. Now, remember when I told you to choose a survivor based on your playstyle? Remember the survivor very well, because we are going to choose a killer that match with the survivor. How? Let me explain. For example, you have chosen Chance. What do Chance require the most? No, not good luck with the gamble, but good luck in aiming. You need to have good aim to be able to play him. And what other killer do need good aim? In fact, all of them do, but the one that needs it the most is
1x 1 by 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 1.
But in case if you are too fragile to gamble, fear not, because we have other survivors that do require similar skills at aiming. Now the next one on the list we have Elliot. Now I'm going to explain why he needs good aim, and if you are one of those players who play him despite not being able to shoot his pizza correctly, I have a message for him.
Your life is nothing. You serve zero purpose. You should kill yourself.
And remember what I said earlier, Elliot and 2times have the same exact playstyle. And honorable mention is Dusakar, but come on, beginners don't play Dusakar anyways. Second kill on the list, however, is Cool Kid. He also requires good aim to land his corrupt nature and walk speed override, but unlike the other killers, he don't have any indicator or any reliable way to know where other survivor is, so to play Cool Kid, you need to be aware of your surroundings. In that case, his survivor match will be Noob and 787. They both require to be aware of the killer and where everyone is, but Cool Kid is so easy to use, anyone can play him easily. And next one is kind of obvious. John Doe highly rely on map lowness to use your traps and specs more effectively. He also have the best indicator on the game, so whoever means Builderman will find John Doe really easy to play. And last but not least, Jason's. This guy does not have any survival match, I'm sorry. And that is because he don't need any special skills to master, only stamina management, and that is needed in every character on the game. So it does not matter who you main, you can always play Jason. Well, would you look at that, Lil Tibby have completed his first week at the game, and you are now, my friend, a certified Frosaken player. But it also means you don't have the privilege to mess up anymore. You have between 7 to 20 hours playtime. You should lock the fuck in. Try to get most after few rounds. I'm not saying you should start the killer more often or hear your teammates more, no. I'm saying whenever you lose, you should start identifying the reasons and the things that have resulted in this outcome. Try to develop a thought process throughout every round and play the game like a round of chess. Every move you do will either make you lose or win, and there is no in between. And also try to identify your struggles in game and find a solution with them either by tutorials or your friends or just by yourself. And speaking of tutorials, there is this guy called Anemone. He does some big tutorials, you guys should check them out. And now let's summarize what we learned so far in this video. Anyways guys, that's it. Now see you next time.